Okay, let's get one thing straight. You came to this video because you are a dummy. Bass-wise, of course. I'm sure y'all are smart in other topics. Most of y'all. Anyways, some of y'all may ask, oh, Junior, are you educated in the world of... Well, yes, I am educated in the world of bass. I, in fact, have a master's degree in bass fishing. I can't seem to find it right now, but that's okay. I'm going to be sharing with y'all my top 5 favorite lures for dummies to use while bass fishing. Guys, please let me know in the comments down below if you want to hear any more in-depth guides, more about a certain bait in particular. I can definitely get one out for y'all. This was just supposed to be for beginners, help beginners figure out what are the first 5 baits they should get. All 5 of these baits are great. Recommend them all, especially if you're on a budget. Just get those five baits, and I promise you'll catch fish in any given circumstance, in any given time. Just get out there and fish. Okay, so the first bait I'm going to talk about today is the Senko. The beautiful thing about these Senkos are you can Texas rig them and they're weedless, and so you should have no excuse trying to throw these in heavy cover where the bass like to reside. You can cast this on any type of line, mono, fluoro, braid, whatever works. These will sink to the bottom and they'll imitate a dying bait fish. Now, what you do is a lift and retrieve with your rod. So you just lift and you reel all the slack on the way down. So rise up like this, and then when it dies, it will fall down super slow. While the bait is falling is where the bass will bite most of the time. I have gotten a few fish just leaving the Senko alone, but you're gonna get most of your fish on the fall. If I were to get one lure, this would be the one lure. You can literally fish this anywhere in the world. Like, I bet you money you would catch this in any body of water. Salt, fresh, I don't care. Any body of water where there's fish, I bet you could catch one. These are just great all around baits. Please stock yourselves with some of these. Let's go ahead and move on to the next one. So now let's bring it to my second bait. Unlike the Senko, crankbaits are called search baits. So what you do is you cast, and granted, these are a little hard to use. You cast, and then you just reel in. Yes, I know it's a little difficult, but just bear with me, okay? You just reel it in, okay? So I know it's a little hard to process, but it's okay. So search baits, they're better. I like to use them especially if you go pond hopping, or you just fish in ponds. These are great. I like to have these type of baits on my rods tied on first, because this gives you the chance of trying to feel the mood of the fish. And so you just cast out there and you just start to see, are the fish in a aggressive mood? Are the fish in a lethargic mood? And these are just perfect for that, because you cast, reel, move on. I like to take 3 to 5 casts in every spot. Cover as much water as you can with these, and I promise you, you'll catch tons of fish. Let's move on to the next one. Now the third bait that I recommend for dummies is a spinnerbait. Spinnerbaits are a great bait all around. These are a search bait, just like the crankbait, except these are semi-weedless. And so what that means is they're not completely weedless, but they're definitely part weedless. These are really good when fished around like minor cover and weeds. This wire almost acts as a guard and deflects lots of algae. Now, you still might get hung up a few times with this, but that's okay. I recommend fishing these around cover, and same with the crankbait. Cast, 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 move on. 3 to 5 casts every time. Promise you, you'll catch tons of fish with this one too. This is probably my favorite bait. They're great. You can catch fish year round with this bait. Tons of different colors. I recommend getting a white one to start with, but I have a ton. Actually, I recommend, if you do lots of pond fishing, I recommend getting more of a bluegill color because it's more natural. And then if you're like at a lake, this white is also good. It's good for shad. But that's not saying I catch tons of fish on this and I do a lot of pond fishing and there's no shad in my pond. Really good bait. Go out and fish it. Now let's talk about the cousin of the spinnerbait, jig. So jigs are good because they're They target more lethargic fish, so they're not so moving like a spinnerbait. These will help you target specific areas, like if you're trying to pitch into a piece of timber or a big piece of grass that you know, like a grass bed area that you need to cast into. These are great. Again, semi-weedless. Now, I have a trailer on mine. I recommend getting these. These help a lot. What happens is this jig will sink head first, and these tails right here, they'll kick up, and it looks like a crawfish trying to pinch away the predator. Very cool baits. Recommend getting one. You don't need a trailer. I've catch fish without the trailer all the time. They're just great baits. Recommend getting one. Great year round. Doesn't matter when. Catch them all year. They're just such a great bait. I don't know why you don't have one yet. Maybe you do have one. Just get one, okay? Just get one. Now the last bait, it's not just one bait, it's a category of baits. You fish to have fun, to enjoy yourself, to relieve stress, correct? This category of baits is probably the most fun I ever have when I'm fishing, and that's topwater. One topwater is this topwater frog. These are great fishing around mats, heavy cover, like lily pads, floating weeds, just anything floating. Throw it out, cast over it, and just go through with this frog. What this frog would do is it'll just glide right over, perfectly weedless, just glides right over the stuff. The bass look up at it, and they'll bite it, and they'll just take it like this, and it'll blow up out of the water. It's so cool. Definitely need to go see one of them. Another topwater is this whopper plopper. Now these are a little on the expensive side, I'm not gonna lie to you, but you will get your money's worth out of the number of fish you catch. Fish just love this bait right here. This tail will kick, and so what you do is you cast out and you reel it in, and this tail will kick and make like that beeline that you see a lot whenever you see a fish dart, and it makes like a weird sound that I don't know how to explain, and the bass just love this. Like, you need this. And another topwater that I recommend is a popper. Now, beware, these don't catch just fish or weeds. They like to catch people too, just like I did. So these are great in open water. They have this cup-shaped mouth. You just cast out, twitch, and then it'll make like a little splash. Same thing, bass will come up, blow it up out of the water. If you stick this far into the video, I want to thank you by giving you one more bonus tip. Now, hear me out. I need help from y'all getting this tip out to other bass anglers. Not many people know about this. The last tip I can give y'all when bass fishing is to get up out of your phone and go to your local pond and go fish. Why are you still here? You shouldn't be on this video anymore. I gave you the 5 lures. Get out and go fish. I don't want to see you here anymore. Click off YouTube, close the app, get your pole, put it in your car, and go fish. Get out of here.